Mayor Roseland?
Yeah, we'll get started.
But good move for him.
He won, I guess he's from Lincoln originally.
Yeah, well,
No, I don't have a text.
You know what, it'll probably be June.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency meeting. It's Wednesday, December 11th at 4 o'clock. This is a public meeting. It's subject to the Nebraska Open Meeting Act. Anybody here can talk on any subject. Just make sure you come forward and make yourself known if you want to do that, and I'll find some time for you. In attendance today, we have representing the city of Gretna, their administrator, Paula Dennison, the mayor of La Vista, Douglas Kindig, the mayor of Papillion, David Black, the mayor of Bellevue, Rusty Hayek, and I'm Don Kelly, Sarpy County Commissioner. Our agency administrator is here, Dan Hoynes, as well as our agency treasurer, engineer, and legal counsel. If you would, silence your cell phones and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any comments from the board? Okay, then we'll get right into the staff reports, beginning with Administrator Hoynes.
thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. Kind of a short turnaround on here, but still have a lot going on. Just a couple brief things to update you on. I've met with the auditors a couple of times. I still don't have a draft report. They've indicated they don't see anything in there. They just were asking for additional documentation on interlocal agreements and rate studies and payroll processing, and so we provided that. They've indicated we will have the draft report in hand by the end of the year. Obviously, you will not be meeting as a board. I'll distribute that out to the administrators as soon as I get it for review, but it'll appear before you at the January 22nd meeting with the auditors for review and discussion appropriately. A couple of updates on projects you previously approved. A DocuWare system, if you recall. We've been working very hard on that, literally thousands of documents, transferring them in so we can do a better job of keyword searching and responding. That's probably 70% done. The website, a little more complicated, but early 25, we'll have an updated website on the agency website that's a standalone for us. I've also spent a fair amount of time the last couple of weeks working with Mark on a financial dashboard report that he's scheduled to present to you. This is his last free board meeting, but there's some things that we're looking at this financial dashboard that he'll report to you each month are the running total revenues compared to the budget, the running total expenses compared to the budget, our loan balances, year-to-date pilot revenues, and cash on hand. Those are just a couple of things that he'll come up and present to you each month on, and then those will also be made available on our website, just striving for a little bit more financial access and transparency through the process for you. Finally, I conclude my comments, Mr. Chair, member mayors, that in the next few weeks I'll be working with Sarpy County to create an agenda and schedule a meeting with WIFIA in January to discuss the potential of amending the scope for the remaining WIFIA funds. I would like to get that rolling early January. So got a draft agenda, and I'll work with the county on preparing that agenda and scheduling that meeting with WIFIA, and then working with the administrators to bring a recommendation to you hopefully in the near future. So that concludes my comments. Available for any questions.
Is WIFIA funds, is that for the design of the rest of it?
Yeah, yes, Mayor. And I did send to your admins here. I presented it ended up being a 45-minute presentation to the county board a week or two ago, I think. They'd asked those questions, and one of the questions was, what is the intended use of unspent WIFIA funds? And my response was, the agency staff will be recommending we use those for the design permitting and easement acquisitions for all of Phase 1B and all of Phase 2 also.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dan. Okay, our agency engineer, Jeff Thompson.
Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors, thank you. Jeff Thompson, project engineer for the agency. Today, we started the Springfield Creek Lift Station, starting the checklist and checkout of that system. Planning on running that 8-hour test for that lift station on Friday, which is really exciting because that's kind of the last piece of the puzzle for us to put the full system online. So very excited that we're to this point for that. I have a meeting scheduled with Sarpy County on December 19th to look at the connection structure that was installed for their metering manhole at the location up around their lift station, Highway 50 and Fairview Road. We've made the connections for the Springfield transition. We're ready to transfer that flow over once we meet the obligations of our connection agreement with them and get our baseline flow models tested and those out of the way. Currently also working on compiling all of our as-built data. As a standard practice, we normally go back and shoot elevations and capture all the data as it was built in the field, document all that on the drawing sets that were originally provided for construction and house those for future needs if and when we may be needed. Also working on permit closeouts. As you're well aware, we had lots of permits through the state and federal government for this project. So just trying to backtrack and make sure that we get all that stuff closed out so we don't have anything left hanging out there that may come back and haunt us at some point in the future. Also working on coordinating property insurance and whatnot for our electrical building and getting all the electrical billings transferred over from the Hawkins contract to the agency, so we're ready to take on full operations the first of the year. Working through the decommissioning plans with the state and the contractors as well as the city of Springfield on decommissioning their plant to make sure that we're ready to do that as soon as that transition flow has transferred over. Been assisting Hush Blackwell pretty extensively on the condemnation discoveries and interrogatories for the 2 condemnation hearings that we have coming up here in the middle of next year. Working on some O&M planning, working through some logistics associated with that, trying to get some SCADA training and some other things aligned as far as reporting functionalities that we can pull out of the SCADA software so that we can provide that when we provide billing to our customers. So the last thing that we've been kind of working on is just backtracking with property owners that we acquired easements from, making sure that they're happy. And we've got a few concerns along the way, nothing major, but just some things we need to clean up and make sure that that's taken care of. So we're continuing to be a good neighbor and partner with those property owners. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions for Jeff? Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 items on the consent agenda. Would any of the agency members like to see those pulled to the regular agenda? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve as published.
Motion to approve, Bellevue.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Bellevue and a second by La Vista. Any discussion? Please vote.
You gotta use that to do that. Ow. Yes.
Can you get it?
I voted for Gretna. She agreed.
Yeas 5, absent Springfield. Motion passes.
Okay, on the regular agenda, we have 2 items. The first one, number 5, is Resolution 45, authorizing an execution of a letter of memorandum of understanding between the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency and Sarpy County. Dan Hoynes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. Bonnie Ward contacted me about 3 weeks ago and suggested that maybe we work on something temporary. They're still navigating their way through the 25-plus page formal MSA. They would like some more time. I do actually appreciate the reach out and the opportunity to make the connection. It's physically there. It's ready to be there, and the revenues are projected to start coming to us in January of this year. So this effectively is a short-term MOU that would allow us to work with Sarpy County to make that connection on or before December 31st. It does have an expiration date of June 30th, 2025. So it forces us to get that done, the county and the agency to work down. This has been reviewed at the agency level by me, by the agency attorney, and by Jeff, and we would all recommend approval, if you're so inclined.
County board approved it, right?
I don't know. I don't follow
Yeah,
the county board agenda anymore. So.
I can't remember. Bonnie, did we approve this? Yeah, sure.
County board didn't formally approve this one. This was something that could be signed off by the administrator, by me.
Oh, that's right.
Agency, it's before you today as the
Right.
agency board. And
Okay.
just while I'm up here.
It doesn't require approval of the county.
No. And just want to thank Dan for working with us on it. I think this is the right thing to do.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second, Gretna.
Okay, motion by Papillion, second by Gretna. Any further questions or comments?
Is it still, if the county board's not going to approve it, does that change the legality of it for this agency?
I won't be our attorney. I mean, you vote on what you vote. You have your rules on what's required and the authorities of the
But is
administrator.
it binding? That's what I'm asking. If it's
If they're
not
confident,
approved by
I'm
both
confident.
elected bodies.
Yeah, if they're confident in it, I'm confident in it, so.
Yeah, I'd like to maybe just,
Well, speaking just for the agency, we need board approval before it could be signed and binding on the agency. And I don't want to put words in Bonnie's mouth, but I think she
No, I
said,
don't need
I don't think,
Bonnie
yeah, I don't
to
think the
come
county
forward.
board is, approval is required for it to be binding.
have that. Thank you. So from my perspective, we're signing it on behalf of Sarpy County. The agency board is approving it on behalf of many members. The terms of the agreement are essentially, the agency is going to send us an invoice for things. It's already physically connected. There's things in there that the agency is going to do. It's going to take the flow. It's going to remove the plug. And so the way that I looked at it, something that I could sign off on as administrator, and it doesn't impact the legality of it. And the ultimate goal is to formalize the connection agreement.
Any other questions? Okay, please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Springfield, motion carries.
Okay, resolution number 6 is resolution 46, authorizing the chair and agency treasurer to act on behalf of the board over the holidays.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member mayors. This is a consistent process we've used because there's 6 or 7 weeks in between meetings, and some have net 30 days. So we like to keep our bills paid.
Thanks, Dan. I was going like, okay,
I'll make a motion to approve.
thank you.
Second.
Okay, motion by La Vista, second by Bellevue. Any further comments? Please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Springfield, motion carries.
Okay, rolling into the holiday season here. So I hope everyone has a really great holiday and a great Christmas or whatever. And we'll meet again in January on the 22nd, 2025. So all the items on the agenda have been addressed as published, and the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency Board is adjourned.
Nice and short.